Let's see. Good afternoon. This is Nephente from NETHERBIRD, RIKET, and so forth, transmitting yet again, and having a cold. Looking forward to Monday. Feels weird, but it's reality since quite a long time back. Yeah. Salutations all. Good morning. No such thing, according to my mug. Well, it's evening in Stockholm, so I got that going for me. So I'm sort of through the Monday, pretty much. This is the second to last stream on my first season of streams. Started this in April in this year because then we were 1 month into the pandemic, and I thought that, well, fuck it, I'm bored. Let's do something, and I started to stream, basically just talking about metal music and well, black death metal in particular, but I've touched upon stuff here and there, and in the meantime I've also tried various things like different streaming platforms, and now I'm trying out OBS, and today we're gonna do a fantastic experiment because we are gonna try to integrate Skype into this all-encompassing experience. Today I can see though that the chat seems to be working, but not for everyone. So I think the YouTube chat is not included. Fuck knows why, but you know, I will eventually figure it all out. So I think now it might be the Facebook chat that we see here. I'm not 100% sure, and it's hard to be 100% sure when you do technical stuff. But since I'm a very multi-media person, I will also see if I can find the chat in my phone. And I'm starting to talk to myself, which is very professional. In any case, how are you guys doing? I can see that, yeah, actually it seems like now the YouTube chat is included, so feel free to write. I have been in the studio doing studio stuff, which in my case means that I'm screaming my lungs out, and I'm also having a cold, so that's a party. Eventually, if all goes well, you might hear something from those sessions. But we never announce when we do things. We work, and then stuff gets done, and then eventually we will release stuff. It could be RIKET, it could be NETHERBIRD, it could be something else. And I know that sucks a little bit, but I've been doing this for some time. And one thing you learn is that as soon as you have a plan, things will go sideways. Okay, so the Facebook chat is not working. Okay, fantastic. Well, if you go to youtube.com/Nephente Talks, you'll find the YouTube stream there, and then you can chat there. Yeah, the stream should be working. It's just the chat integration that's not working 100%, but I will see if I can find it then. People tend to be a little bit too quiet in the chat. Feel free to always let me know stuff if there is anything I should answer, or if there's anything you're curious about, whatever. But then again, as we progress, I will learn this better and better. So for season 2, it will work flawlessly. But I can see that Binan, GK, and Jane is in the chat. So welcome. my chat view count, my view count doesn't work either. But I mean, this is what you get. I'm using basically a free software, using platforms I'm not paying for to transmit my fantastic stream worldwide. But in truth, I'm sort of surprised to see how many are actually watching, both when I do live, but especially afterwards. It's quite cool. So that gives me the idea that what I'm doing is of value somehow to people, and that makes it quite fun to keep on doing this. Nephente, you like the new Necrophobic album? Best album of the year, in my opinion. No, I hate it. They're awful people, and they do awful. No, I haven't listened to the full album yet, but I listened to the 3 singles that are out, and I think they're all extremely good. And it gives me hope also, because Necrophobic has been around since, I think, 1989, so 31 years, and still making relevant music. They do their thing, and I think it's really good. I've been a fan since the demo time. So I mean, I can't say that I've been following everything all the time, but Necrophobic has always been there for me. It's one of these bands that, are very reliable. They never put out bad stuff. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's great. And it feels like they found their inspiration with the new album, really. I also like the videos, like the collaboration with Smia, and I think they found. I don't know. I don't know the guy so well. I mean, I've been talking to Sebastian, who's an awesome guy. But Stano has been doing this forever. The drummer, he seems to have found his passion, or rediscovered it, and I think that is remarkable. Necrophobic is very good. Not sure yet where to put the scale. Top 5, at least top 10. And I think it's when you can do that, when you've been doing this shit for 30 plus years, then you're doing something right. And as always with music, I mean, of course, I mean, everybody loves the fact that, if fans like what you put out, that's great. But you gotta love it yourself also. And sometimes when you hear, an album that feels, sort of tired, you also realize that it's not really maybe the album you wanted to make, but it's the album that got made. Because it's really, really hard when you're in the studio, I think, sometimes to find that, because it's a lot of work. And I mean, you have the songs you have, and you're happy about them, you try to make them the best you can. But sometimes it just becomes magical, and sometimes it just becomes, oh, it was the best we could make. And that process, I don't know, maybe some musicians have this awesome capability of always, performing at their very best, like a fucking athlete who goes out there and breaks the world record every time. But that's not always where life puts you. I mean, you can be in your life can be pretty shitty, and then you're supposed to be in the studio, and you do your very best. But it's hard to, I think, to always find that passion. But when you do, it all makes sense. And I can only speak for myself. I mean, I always try to do my very best, but it's hard to know if it's gonna be the best I ever made, or if it's just gonna be the best I can make right now. Disrupted Pure Death Metal from Sweden. Eager for this one. So Disrupted. Not actually don't know of Disrupted, so I will check it out, and maybe I can plug it next time. And also, I mean, I do come across a lot of music, but not all music, so always feel free to send me stuff that you think I should check out, or stuff that, I mean, that you would recommend everybody else. Dark Tranquility, yes. Same thing there. I'm a huge fan of the stuff they made since forever, and also a band that seems to be still passionate about the stuff. I know some of the guys, and I've had the questionable privilege of drinking with Dark Tranquillity on a night train from Moscow to St. Petersburg, or if it was the other way around. I was fucked up for months, literally, because I at very late at night I fell asleep on the not most comfortable bed I've ever slept in. So I got some nerve shit from sleeping on my arm heavily. So I couldn't actually close my right hand for a few months. So that's what you get when you try to keep up with some of the guys from Dark Tranquillity. Well, really awesome band. So let's see. Disrupted Pure Death, 26th of October. Yeah, I'll check it out. 2 singles, Blood Worship and Human Stew. Sounds tasty. New Benediction album next Friday. Yeah, Benediction. I loved some of their stuff, and some of it has sort of I never paid attention to it. So Benediction is one of these bands. I mean, of course, they came on my radar when Barney Greenway joined Napalm. So then I had to check out Subconscious Terror, and they've done some stuff that I think is really, really remarkable. Like their cover of The Anvil Was Forged in Fire. The best Anvil song, in my opinion, ever is the stuff they did. I think it was it Colin Richardson? Someone made also the production is so fucking intense. Demonical, great band. Obviously heavy metal, pedal worshipping, but they're doing it really well. Yeah, but it's great that you guys are exchanging intel in the chat. I appreciate that. Especially, when I have a cold and I am tired and stuff, so then I need all the help I can get. Today, I will pretty soon, I'll talk to 2 of the guys from Nårdegaist, which is a fairly new revelation to me. They've been around for some years, but they're not only playing, their brand of black metal in Swedish. They do it actually in the regional dialect. So I'm going to be asking them a little bit about that. But I might fuck everything up here, since I'm going to try to import them in using Skype. So bear with me if it becomes a little bit tricksy. But they also been kind enough to send me some stuff. So I'll actually let you guys hear a snippet of stuff to come from them. So it's actually my first music preview that I've done on this stream. So that's cool. I could do more of that. Because as you might, those of you that's been following my stream also know that sometimes it becomes really, really complicated when you broadcast released stuff. Even if it's just audio, if it's just, video with a short audio snippet, sometimes still the fucking copyright bots just kicks your stream. So I had that happen. But unreleased stuff cannot be kicked because nobody can recognize it yet. So unreleased stuff or stuff not released on labels, that stuff is easier to stream actually. I will also end this stream by showcasing a full video from Nårdegaist. And I really like that video. Just as I tend to like everything that is just quotation marks, a band playing in some dark setting, because I to me, that never becomes old. Seeing the musicians play their instruments, as simple as it is, to me it works better than when you try to make a story and you don't have the budget for it. Some people like that. I prefer to see bands play, maybe interjected with some other stuff, but because then it also becomes like a little bit of a document of the band. Where were they? How did they look? how did they want to be perceived. And as soon as there is like a band playing, I think it becomes, to me, it becomes authentic. So it doesn't have to be super expensive, but of course it helps if you, like the guys in Nårdegaist, have like a camera person who does a decent job finding some nice angles, some good colors, and but it doesn't have to be super much to work. But if you do something else, if you want to make a mini movie or whatever, then it takes so much more in terms of budgets and stuff. And the sad fact is, if you watched my previous stream, we don't make a huge deal of money making this music. I mean, of course, some bands get more because they have a lot of following, but most of us, I mean, we're quite happy actually if the album breaks even, or if it actually pays a little bit more, like the videos and stuff. But we don't have the budgets that we would like, and that makes that a very much do it yourself style. But then if you're lucky, you have friends who can help you out, and then you can still end up with something that works. But if you want to do something that makes me happy, I prefer it to be a band playing, doing their stuff, rather than something else. But yeah, hey, we're all different. Yeah, and I see that some people fall in here, replying to shit. Yeah, I think the YouTube chat is the one working, and I think it's not the Facebook Dito. The stream works, but the chat doesn't end up on screen, because hey, that's how it is. Any other questions? Because then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play the snippet of stuff, and then I will try to connect two of the guys from Nårdegaist. It could work. It could also fuck up, but I mean, hey, this is how underground's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a little bit, is it gonna work or not? Some suspense is needed. And also, if you want to make me very happy, you should send me coffee mugs, because coffee mugs, you can never have too many. T-shirts I have enough, but not enough coffee mugs. Just just a hint. So if you have like band coffee mugs, send me, and I will happily sport it in my fabulous stream. Sometimes you need an artist, not a body. Yeah, true. I mean, just as black death metal bands, we do a lot with very little. We work very hard, and it's the same if you find the right video producer. They can make something awesome from almost nothing, but you need to find them somebody with the same passion for this stuff, because if you go shop on town for someone who can make a remarkable video, they can, but it's super expensive. So you need to find someone who shares your passion and stupidity and wants to create art for art's own sake. And some people have that gift and ability, not everyone. But in any case, I'm gonna play some Nårdegaist, and then I'm gonna try to connect the guys so we can have a little bit of a conversation. It could work, but bear with us. But we start with something that I know will work, and that's, or at least I think it will work. So here is a snippet of things to come. We'll talk about it soon.
Better
Då ska vi se.
Oj.
Perfect. Ja, absolut. Ja, vänta, ska vi göra det här då? Vänta. Så. Ja, jag får hålla lite. Ja.
Ja.
All right. It's super simple to get this to work, theoretically. All right. Hey, guys.
Hello.
It's good to have you in the stream, and thank you for taking time. I actually think I managed to fuck up my preview of your song by talking, so I'll play it afterwards, and then I'll play your new video. But can you tell the listeners a little bit about who you guys are, and some short background on Nårdegaist as well?
Jerry, maybe.
I'm out of focus. Or I'm out of the picture.
I think the picture is very after.
Okay. When I met a drummer that came to Gotland, we started the band as 2 persons, and then within a couple of months we had a full band, and we also released our first demo. And then we changed, because first we were there. We were called 1361, and then we changed to Nårdegaist like 4 years ago or something.
Yeah, when we had the full lineup, it was Nårdegaist, and
Yeah. We'll see. I think, now, do you guys have a super echo, or is it just me?
No, the sound is perfect for me.
Oh, great.
The sound is perfect.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys have been doing this for a few years, and now you are about to release a new release, right?
Yeah.
And
yes.
But there are some stuff. I mean, you do this in Guatemala. I mean, you do, I would say black metal, but I mean, there are other elements into the music. But you don't only do it in Swedish. You do it in because you guys are from Gotland, which is the biggest island, and also, I mean, like I think every bigger island have like their own culture, and I would say that Gotland really sticks out in the sense that it's I would say a pretty proud region, and pretty proud to differ for instance, from Stockholm and stuff. But you took it further because you actually used the regional dialect in the music. How did that happen, and why?
It was about the first song actually, 1361 in English. It's the year when the Danish army invaded Gotland and killed a big portion of the population on the island. And the song was about one of the battles, and it seemed like the only way to really tell the story was in Gutnish. Well, because that was the language they spoke during that time. And then, well, it just sticked, you know?
Yeah. I think it makes it even exotic for me. I mean, I'm Swedish, and of course I understand the words. And Nårdegaist, it means northern wind, right? Or
yeah,
so it's northern
Yeah.
so like northern gusts, sort of.
yeah, but it's a oh, Mila, you can take it.
Yeah, it's like the very cold wind. So you can't even bear the wind because it's so cold. So you probably freeze to death or something. It's like the very cold wind in a field.
Yeah,
It's many words are really hard to translate to Swedish because the meaning of the word in Swedish might differ from the similar word in Gutnish, and some words don't exist in Gutnish. Like you have Swedish words for words that you find in science and stuff like that. But those words are like they don't exist in Gutnish.
it's a very old dialect. I mean, you can see more of the Old Norse words in it also. So I mean, it's a very historic and must be difficult. How do you guys know it, or did you have to learn it yourselves? You can lie, but I mean, not everybody in Gotland knows this dialect.
When I was a kid, I spoke pretty close. It's a difference between the Gotlandic dialect and the Gutnish language, because the Gutnish language is it's very few people that speak it like during the day. They know how to speak it, but they don't speak it like during in normal cases. And when I was young, I spoke with a dialect, extreme form of dialect, and sometimes when I was visiting my grandparents, I spoke kind of Gutnish, but I don't speak it anymore. So we have a translator that helps us with the lyrics, so we get the right words.
Yeah. Because I mean, I imagine you need that because you don't have the online dictionary. Because to be honest, when I do lyrics,
We do.
You do. Of course you do. I mean, it's the
I know.
2020. I'm sorry. Of course you do. But you can't use Google Translate.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. You're working on it. But I mean,
Yes.
You know the band Kvän. I actually have this. I mean, Kvänland is also like a proud region in the northern parts of Sweden. Now you have Gotland, the biggest island, also sort of putting your stamp a little bit on the metal, chart, because you make the Swedish history is by American standards, it's extremely old. We are an old nation. We've been around forever. But Sweden is not one place. Now it's one, nation. But it used to be different tribes and different areas with different cultures. So I think it's really cool that you guys bring it into the music and also making it heard. I would guess it also makes some Gotlandians pretty proud, right? Have you got any response on the fact that you guys are doing this?
Yeah, both the positive and the negative, I think. At first they were quite negative because they didn't really think the Gutnish language was for use in this kind of music. It's more for like folk music and old visas.
Of course.
But now when we have been around and they see that we are kind of serious with it, I think they kind of like it more and more, actually, because we want to keep the language, so because otherwise I think it will disappear.
And I mean, now we're speaking, because I know in this chat we have people from Russia, from Spain, from Denmark even, I mean, exotic as fuck, Sweden, I mean, but I mean, we're talking about the fact that you guys, you named your band, but you also do the lyrics in this language, which is otherwise lost. So I think it's, and I think this is what black metal and extreme metal does that we don't see in pop music or whatever, because here we find it interesting. I don't see it as anything but interesting. But is it hard to do the lyrics? Is it hard to sing, or is it simple? Or how would you say? Does it cause any problem for the vocalist? Well,
yeah, if you have words like Heimgangsringningi, it's like, but it's really nice. It's a melodic but still very aggressive speak. You know, you have this g and k. You know, you have this hard consonants, and then you have like I don't know if it's called diphthongs in English.
I don't know.
Like
let's
you have,
say so.
In Swedish you only have like a, e, but in Gutnish we have o, u, and stuff like that. So
yeah. Is it reminiscent? Because in the Icelandic language you have some similar stuff that shows up, and I mean it to me it looks more like Icelandic sometimes than Swedish actually when I see it. But then again, that's a simplification, I'm sure. But it's curious. I think it's closer to what the Vikings spoke than at least ordinary Swedish or Smålandian, like I speak. So that's it's like the old history lives through your music. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You guys just released a video, and I praised it previously, and I haven't played it yet. I will play it in the end of the stream. But you released it just a few days ago, actually. Tell us a little bit about it. How did it happen?
We had a huge budget.
Of course you did. Gotlandian gold.
Yeah, but it's in color. It's not black and white, you know.
Exactly. I mean, you really went all the way there.
Yes.
We didn't have a budget at all. We did everything by ourselves. Our drummer did the filming, most of the filming, and then he edited the video. We did all the fire effects ourselves, and the only help we had was from a company that we borrowed some spotlights from.
I actually think it came out really nice, and I've seen a lot of people reacting positively on it as well. And this is the thing: you do a video, you never know if 5 people are gonna watch or 5,000 or whatever. But the reception has been pretty good, right?
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I think they seem to like the video, so we are very happy about it.
Yeah. And the new album, when is it coming?
We don't really know yet because the ones that we want to release the album, they have a few other bands in front of us that they have to release before our LP. And due to Corona, we don't really know when it's about to happen. So yeah, we will see. But we hope in a quite near future, at least.
I mean, this is, like I said previously before I tried to connect you guys, and I actually succeeded in the end, and thank you for your patience. Super pro, super underground broadcast. But I mean, this is how it normally is. I mean, it's hard to know exactly when when you're done recording it, but when you can actually release stuff, that can sometimes take months, or if you're unlucky, it can be almost a year before you actually get it out there. So it's always complicated, I have to say. But what do you guys think is the next step for you when you get the album out? I mean, we live in insane pestilence times. But are you guys looking to play more, or will you start working on the next album, or what is the plan?
I think a little bit of both, because for black metal, I don't really see the problem with the 50 people limit. It's quite possible to do a gig with only 50 people because you want it small.
Yeah.
So maybe we will try to play live, maybe on Gotland and maybe somewhere in Sweden. We don't have any plans yet, but we're working on it, and I think we will start working on a new album as well.
Oh, that's cool. Because it seems like you guys have a little bit of a buzz also. People talk about you, and you can never know those stuff either. But I mean, if people are interested, it's better to push more stuff out there. And I mean, small gigs are nice, in my opinion as well. If you can at least get those, you have like Fredagsmangel in Stockholm, which you could play. How is the scene on Gotland in Visby? How many bands are active, and are there like a venue where you have like good gigs, or at least gigs?
Nah, there used to be a club, but it closed. We have like some events. Nothing particular for metal. It was they had some metal gig last year, I think. Had a couple of metal gigs. And then we have this Dödskallen. It's a festival that we played our first gig, and that's about it. It's not very much, not very many gigs actually, especially not metal gigs, but there are some.
Yeah.
There's a band called Liktal, for example, that is playing live. What else do I have?
They played in one of the old church ruins in Sweden this summer. So at least I went to see one band live this summer. So I guess it's pretty good.
It's pretty fucking good. I'm happy for you. The rest of us got to see nothing. But I mean, and this is the state of shit almost everywhere. Also, I mean, even in Stockholm, the scenes. I mean, especially for smaller bands, it's hard to find decent gigs. But you have this Fredagsmangel, which I think should be pretty suitable for you guys. I mean, it should be possible to make something happen there. But there are so few gigs right now, and everybody's waiting for something, and we have no idea when it's gonna be better. And I think it's better to roll with it and try to do what we can right now. And I mean, 40 people, if it's the right people, it's that's a good gig, in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
But
Yeah.
you mentioned one band.
It's
sorry, keep going.
no, it's really because Nårdegaist is a live band. Actually, our music is really good live, and we also think that the audience is very supportive when we're playing. So it's a really shame that we can't play more gigs than we do actually.
And I mean, it's these are rough times, but I think if you have the right, I mean, if you're okay with playing with smaller audiences, I think a lot of places will, I mean, start doing that because they can't wait forever. It's better to do a small gig than nothing. And if you have a band that actually puts on a good show, and I've seen live clips, and I mean, I agree, you guys are a live band, and I think there should be no potential to do. If you're okay with doing smaller gigs, I mean, there are many places all over Sweden, like Motala. Jönköping also has a pretty good scene, I think. So it should be possible to do like a mini tour of through Sweden at least. If you dare to leave the island, that is. But I guess you have Corona shit going on there as well, so it's not such a big difference.
When we play in Sweden, it's like a world tour, you know.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. But are there any other bands on Gotland that you guys think people should pay attention to? Because I see that you're wearing an Avslut shirt. So Avslut is obviously a band that people should pay attention to. But are there any really local bands as well that you think are important for people to check out?
Yes, we have Liktal, as Jerry said.
Mm.
And we also have another black metal band called Diaphilium. I think many people have heard it because I see people post his music on Facebook.
I don't know if it's many more bands actually. There are bands in other genres, but
yeah. Well, you know, 3 bands, that's enough for at least one good gig night. And I will check up the other 2 bands. Because but I have to say, you guys, you do something that strikes a chord with me. And I think you guys are a little bit reminiscent of Gra for me. Which is to me the best critique I can give, because it's something primal, it's old school, but yet it still feels fresh. And I really love that fact that I can hear that this is traditional, but it doesn't feel copycatted. It's you do your own stuff, but I can hear that it's breeding the 90s. So for me, that's how I want it, and I really urge everybody listening to this live or afterwards to check the stuff out. And I mean, I will play some other stuff, but I won't keep you forever, but where do you see you guys going from here? I mean, yes, right now we don't know, but you will keep being active in the studio and playing live, but live is important, like you said. So then hopefully we will see that the stages open up, because I think there are also some interesting festivals. I mean, Inferno is one, but also Iceland got several good options. But where do you hope to see yourselves in a few years?
As you say, Iceland would be really cool to play because the Gutnish language and the Icelandic language from the beginning are quite the same, but then they split up in like 3 regions. So it would be really cool to go to Ireland and bring our history to them.
Yeah. I think it could be very interesting, actually. And they have so much of a live scene going on compared to Sweden. So I think it shouldn't be impossible. Then okay, let's see. Steelfest looks nice as well. Yeah, Steelfest in Finland is another, pretty brutal festival. But fuck knows which festivals will be around. I mean, if next year is also gonna be a pestilence year, then we'll see who stands and who's not. It's terrible, but what can you do? We can keep talking about music, I suppose. That's what we can do. So, what do you think? Where is the black metal scene in Sweden going? Where do you guys see? Is it still, vital, or where are we going with this? Do you see?
It's really hard because I think black metal is an organic kind of genre that is changing all the time, and you have this like Swedish is kind of melodic black metal, but it's changing. Like bands like Watain and Shining are like doing new stuff to Swedish black metal, it's really hard actually to see. I think it's going to be less melodic maybe, and more, maybe less Swedish identity and more like international identities, like influences from Poland, from France, from Iceland, and Russia. And
I agree. I think we see new regions really rising when it comes to creating actually very good black metal, like you mentioned Russia, Belarus, Ukraine. Regions where we did not particularly see much coming from, and I see they do new stuff, and I think it will change automatically also how the Swedish scene perceives it. And Iceland there must be something in the water there, because they have so many good bands rising currently, and also if you get a few bands rising, you get more. So I mean, maybe the same will come in Gotland, actually. If you have a few bands that actually start doing this, start getting some recognition, there will be more bands rising and doing something similar. So you never know. It might be time for a change also, that the typical Swedish, typical Norwegian sounds, we need to innovate a little bit, because we can't keep on doing what we did since the early 90s, because it's getting old. So yeah, where do you hope that in the short run? I mean, yes, you need to put out the album, you need to get some recognition of that. But if you were to pick, okay, so which band would you like to tour with if you got the opportunity? One each. I know it's an impossible question, but still. Watain, Marduk, Shining, whichever band. Where would you see that we could bring something there that the audience would fucking appreciate?
I think Nårdegaist would fit with bands like maybe Nephente.
Yes.
Well, it would be nice. It would be nice opening for Behemoth, But
why not? You never know. Nurgle. I think Nurgle, he's very divided between being this media personality, but he also does stuff, with Niklas. So he obviously has both. I mean, both sides to it. So you never know. Actually, I don't know Nurgle, so I can't say anything. But would you guys be interested in touring if the opportunity arises, or do you feel now we rather do like weekend gigs? Or I mean, if you got to decide.
I think it's hard because we're working. We're still.
Don't quit your day job, sir. I mean, I wish you could.
No.
I wish you could, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Milla, what do you want? Who do you want to tour with? I think it's really hard to go on a tour actually, because well, it's not realistic to think we're gonna go on a tour with a big band anyway, and it suits us fine to just have a couple of shows actually.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing wrong with that. On the contrary, I mean, I love that attitude. But, I mean, still, I asked the question, so it's my fault. But Milla, if you got to decide, which bands would you do support to on 2 nights then?
I think it's really, really hard to say, but maybe fans of like Satyricon or Tåke, maybe they can like our music. I don't know, but it would be very nice to open for one of those bands.
Not bad choices either. I mean, but I think also you guys could play for both these really harsh bands, but you could also do Behemoth, because there are like, I wouldn't say it's not melodic, the stuff you do, but it's not just full on blast beats. You guys do mid tempo and stuff. So I mean, it's not impossible. And I mean, when these bands come to Sweden, you never know. Opportunities do arise, and I think also since you bring something special to the table, like you said, I mean, just the fact that you guys do lyrics in a different language. So I mean, when Miststyrming, I mean the Icelandic guys, when they play in Sweden, you guys should be a pretty cool match actually. Let's see what people say. Sweden is on a roll now. Good albums this autumn. Leak, Aegis, Necrophobic, Tranquility, Draconian, Trident. Haven't listened to Svedena. Yeah, I mean, this is the fact that, I mean, we put out, there's tons of good music coming all the time. I mean, when people say, "Oh, I don't know if the underground will survive," do you have internet? What the fuck? I mean, there are like millions of albums coming. I think Mörkgryning, I mean, next year it's gonna be like 10 new albums every week, I think, because every band is like, yeah, what should we do? Yeah, let's record an album, and then we put it out next year, and we hope we're lucky. But I mean, so there's no shortage of extreme metal coming, but I think new talents, new bands that have something like a new identity, there are not so many of those, and you guys are one of those bands. So I really urge people to check you out, because you bring something to the table that wasn't done a million times before. So I think that's, but at the same time, you're not doing like, it's not trip hop with your language on. It's proper black metal. So it's you mean it's risk free to listen to it, but at the same time there is a tone to it that I think the lyric language it does add something that I haven't heard. So that's really cool. And I know it's always a bit weird to end up in a stream like this, and especially with me babbling all over the place. But actually, I think technically it worked after I stopped talking above your song snippet. So when we're done, I'm gonna play first the preview of the new song again without talking over it. And then I will play the video that you guys made, and I will then post some links. And I really urge everyone to check out Nårdegaist, because it's something there that I think you don't hear it as often. I mean, once every 5 years something comes along that feels just natural and at the same time new. And I take my hat off because I really appreciate the music that you guys are making.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. And without this delay and stuff, we'll drink beer when you guys end up in Stockholm. It's not that far from you guys, or in Visby. Yeah, I destroyed my whiskey, but I'll get more soon. Cheers. And thank you so much for taking time. And I wish you all the best. I hope you get the album out as soon as it's, viable, and I hope it gets the attention it deserves. And I look forward to seeing you guys playing on a stage as soon as it's possible. And if I hear anything about any of the bands that you mentioned and that support bands are needed, I will let you know. And then I hope that you guys are already in contact with Fredagsmangel, right? In Stockholm. Are you in contact?
No, we aren't, but no, but we should definitely make some contact with them.
Yeah, I'll send you some stuff afterwards. So that should happen. So at least I get to see you pretty soon. But I wish you good health in this time of the plague. Wash your hands, keep distance, and I hope to see you guys in real life soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope to see you too.
For sure.
Thanks for having us in this chat.
Of course.
We really appreciate that.
I mean, it's my pleasure. I'm so happy that I'm able to bring some good music to people. And I urge everyone, like I said, to actually really check you guys out, because you bring something new there. I will now play first the new audio snippet, and then I'll play the full video, and then it's bye. But I thank you so much, and see you guys soon. Cheers.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Hail Satan.
Hail Satan. Him too, for sure.
Raar.